As promised, here is the Banner Saga. And as you can see, I do actually have a resume game, but I have ballsed it up so bad. So bad. Like, you can see up there, just tiny amount. I'm on day 126, so I've played a lot of this shit. And everyone's dying like every day, so I just thought, sod it. I can do the video. I could restart the game, can make some different decisions, but it just means I can no longer hold the illusion of not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. I've got no excuse. No excuse. But for that reason and that reason alone, you can take in the wonderful vision that is the art style. This is a game that doesn't have much sound, doesn't have much... Well, it's full of story, it's full of art, full of music, but there's very little talking. Most of it's written, so I don't know whether I'll do reading it or not. We shall see when it comes to that. Probably, just for the sake of... I know that when I watch stuff, I sometimes don't even listen on stuff on YouTube. I'm not really making much sense now. Once again, I choose really late in the day to start recording a video, but... yeah, Hearthstone sound, so I can't play that with my buddy. So I thought I'd do this, like I said I would. So I will. Let's go. Really restart? Existing saves will be overwritten as you progress through the game. Yes. Sorry, people. The story of the Banner Saga changes based on the choices you make. You'll occasionally switch between lead characters, witnessing the story unfold from different perspectives. I think I swapped about 4 times. 3 times by the time I got to where I was. Was it 3 or 4? Might have been 3. It was 3. The gods are dead. In their wake, man and giant survive through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers called Dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now it is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. Only one thing had stopped. The sun. Dun dun dun. So yeah, basically the story is the sun has stopped, and now these big black things called Dredge, like I just said, have started roaming in from the sides of the world. I think that's a different language.
It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the wild human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Yes. So now we're playing as the Varl, these guys, giants with horns. I believe our character is the man on the caravan. His name is Ubin. Oh, Ubin. As in, you've been pwned. Hilarious, I know. As you can see, one of the greatest things about this game is the art style. And it is pretty beautiful. The landscapes, the art style, the characters, they are all very well defined and drawn. So this is basically a little mini tutorial. run just in time. The chief is ready. Click and drag around the screen to use your strategy. Yep, we can do that like that. And look, there's my character down there doing nothing because he's too old. Portraits show the order of initiative. So basically we move, it's me, then him, then him, then him, then blah 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 blah. Yep. And then we punch him. Yep. Yep. So from the very beginning, this battle anyway, armor means nothing. But later on, it makes a massive difference, and probably will be your death if you're not careful. And they're all dead. It was as simple as that. Now you got a little more story. This beginning bit is like the only time anyone talks.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the dreads arose.
Very
all
cool
we've
wolf.
done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade. Quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his lust. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head. I am in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight, and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal. I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
In the proving grounds. But yes, this game was on Kickstarter. I slowly relay little bits of information to you, don't you worry about that. It's on Kickstarter, I kickstarted it, so I got it when it was released, but then I didn't do a video because I wasn't in video making mood back then. But no, so basically the game rotates between this, which is story and moving around like this and making decisions, and then the combat, like you just saw. Normally bits like this will define how many people are still in your company, if anyone is going to die, if you make a bad decision, things can happen. The consequences stick with you throughout the game and make very significant differences later on in the game. So I'll just get on with it. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. It gets to the chase. I'm assuming that's pronounced Eric. That's how I've always pronounced it. Steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Looks very prissy. You win, isn't it? It is. Governor told me you'll be giving us a hand. Scalflings that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. Is there anyone? If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Let's go. Kick some more scurvy ass. So this is sort of like the map area where you choose where to go. If this is like a rest area, you'll have a place where you can rest, a market where you can buy extra stuff, there'll be a heroes thing, but I'll explain all this again later. So, let me handle this. Meander through the rows of open face houses and eroded stalls, coloured canvases flap on briny current, one man in particular branches as you approach. Had, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The Scalfling's chieftain bled out an hour ago, Had. So when you tell me what rat zanes the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's going to try and kill you this time. I don't talk. They don't talk to me. Had sweats visibly, fumbling with some dirty trinkets on his table. Wait, just buy one of these. Yes, if everybody thinks I'm getting whacked over every week, how am I supposed to know much? Just a little food money, yeah? Let's intimidate him. Motion of gun off, your enormous bodyguard, which is the ginger one, blooms over the man like a snake's over a mouse. Gods, Eric, laying it on a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the scofflings? Noble man, up by the east wall. But that was months ago, last I know. That skulks away with a wave of Eric's motion, blah 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 blah, and your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? What are we done here? You wearing the green back of the Great Hall? No, just spotted him while you were walking around. Why? Better than an eggplant. Touche. Touche, my friend. Man, you all seemed unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't have trust had, but he used to be a scalping. Scalping. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone up to old horns, not new ones. It's a beard hall. Best I can tell. The name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of these skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. It's not up to me, my friend. Just make sure he remembers his promise. I'll remind him. What a good man he would be. So, we go to the meat house. You arrive in front of what may have been a nobleman. A few minutes later, Eric appears. The weather-beaten man introduces Valgard. I'll point them out, Eric says over his shoulder. Ready? Let's get it over with. That's the spirit, says Valgard. Okay, here we go. Valgard boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eric is ready at the head of his table, axe drawn, eyes wide, scalping, blah 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 blah. Let's kill some bitches. The only thing I will say is there are a lot of loading screens in this, because you're always going from one place to the other. But you don't notice it later on when they're longer. Much longer. There's a lot of these guys. I don't remember there being quite so many. Let's move you and you over there. And you there. Yeah, that'll do. Who's moving first? Him. Like I was saying, now it will be the point of armor will make a massive difference. Make fights take longer and such and such. But these Varl are much stronger, so you can just take them out straight away. I can kill him in one with willpower. Ha ha ha. This renown that keeps coming up, that's basically currency. Let's take his shield off. Fortunately, with there being loads of these guys, it's much easier for us to get an attack. Come on, let me move. Kill. Ooh. Let's take him down like that. And then I believe I can go like this. Yeah! And now I can promote him later on. But as I found out from my last game, promoting people often and all the time and such is basically can be a bad thing because you'll be left with no renown, and renown is how you buy your food and such. So my camp was left with no food and I was a bit buggered. Everyone's going after him. Nobody likes him. So, backstab. And attack. Bang. Oh, nobody likes gun off. Could have killed him in one, but I don't really want to waste the willpower. He's only got 3 left. And let's do that. He's got some, so... Jesus Christ, leave Gunnulf alone! I only called him a frog. Come on, down you go. Leave him alone, I tell you. He's gonna fucking murder you. Fucking is. But I don't know if I left it enough room to sort of let you guys see what it was saying at the tutorial and enough space and whatnot. But basically, if you've got less health than the other person, you will do less damage. And if they've got more armor than you've got health, you will end up with a percentage chance of actually doing damage or not. And that will make a massive difference in fights. There they are. Got to be dabbed. Got to go wash off this blood. Oh, because looking out through the halls of the Winter Bay, a fleet of longships approached, sails of bold reds and blues. What banner I know well, Vognir. Next to the Vile Kingship at last we spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important guests. See what I deal with all day long. Things make a little more sense. You hoped I'd have a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask one more favour? Yeah, go on then. If you happen to stall our guests down in the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eric and Valgard hustle from the meat house. To his credit, Eric tosses barkeeper Spar over to the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go greet the new arrivals. More voices. Happy days. I'm terrible with different voices. And we'll go down to the docks. Oh, there they are. There's loads of them. Tons and tons. Vognir. A familiar vase steps onto the docks. In your mind you recall a much younger version trampling the halls of the Grafheim, abundant in purpose. God, Zubin, you're looking ancient. Comes with being old. And if there is Vognir, there must be Hakon. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old jocks. What age do you lose a sense of shame? Trondheim mounted, and I'll take that over lingering to death in Grafheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from Aberang, in fact. I'm glad for it. Hakon motions the other ships to the bay, sails still flutter. Golden Wolf, head and blazoned on the Red King of Men, someone on his behalf. The King's whelp. The King's son, Ludin. Don't you know, Scrivener? We visit his capital, he visits ours. I'm now confused on what voices are which. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Remember his. Yes, Hakon has it. Well, almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakon. Then you go into Grafheim. I have the distinct feeling I've finished my business in Strand and was headed there myself. We should caravan. We should. Give it a day. In better circumstances I'd drink a week away, but... let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where is Mogir? Hakon, have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. Host of giants departs in his wake. Recognize few, the others strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Mogir. I never know how to pronounce these names, and there are worse ones to come. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. Young Prince of Men ambles from his ship, brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Ludin looks for all the world. The sort of boy who grew up pulling their legs from spiders. The long road back to Grafheim should be more interesting than most years, you think. Weariness suddenly settles in, and you chuckle to yourself, oh, what an odd day it's been. One of the governor's men near the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Vognir's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with a Hakon or introduce yourself to the prince. Already have a voice for him, it'll be easier. Let's go talk to him. Scrivener. We find Hakon in the meat house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to the Varl, but rarely sees as many. Hakon waves you over. Went straight for a flagon. Vognir's the one who agreed to purse up a drink. I was invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What's that? Well, I missed that. When I got there, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Huh, humans. I guess if only I lived as long as the Yoks for I might be desperate to make something of myself too. It's not too late to start trying, Hakon. Hakon let slip a low chuckle. Any Val could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting us off through the dredge at Wagner's side in the Second War, regularly since then. Down here, I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point. Just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. Drink until the meat house becomes overbearing and step back to the cooler outside. Now talk to the gay human prince. Is this the right place? You find the prince at the inn, guards blanket the building, including Sharpine Val, who must be working for Ludin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stand nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Ludin. Yes, you're with Wagner? I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Wagner a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Ludin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? Work for the king, carrying teeth for the to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? That one. A Val historian? Ha! Don't you already know? Your king and mine both been practically trumpeting it through the cities. Been on the road a while, I'm afraid. Ludin takes a deep sigh, whether tired or ungracious, you're uncertain. Maybe both. A formality, mostly. Wagner came to our capital in Aberang, and now we go to the Val's capital in Grofheim, to cement this grand alliance for the next age of men and Val. Sounding convinced? There's no need for it, and it's damned cold up here. Says he's struggling not to complain outright. Take the opportunity to excuse yourself. Good. I haven't really done much here, but I suppose it's probably been a little while, so we'll go up there and go to sleep. Dawn, your wagon blend over your goods, at least you think it's dawn, damn hard to tell when the sun moves, governor's crested one. All there, just as promised to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eric had anything to do with it. Yeah. You guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Moog steps forward, Wagner's quartermaster. If you recall correctly, he's in charge of the unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him in passing, yes, so you're ready to depart. Yeah, let's go then. Follow Moog here and join the others. Usually the smaller doors hitting the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They might have things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort. Just frustrated, tired people. Summarises Strand as well as a whole, you think. And now we move. And that's probably where I'll leave the first episode, because this just takes a little while, so yeah, I'll carry on next time. See ya!